Hour on Central Illinois' news station, the Big 1520 AM and 92.3 FM WHOW. Stream live at DeWittDailyNews.com. They're also heard every hour on the station that's your easy choice, 95.9 FM WEZC. And to read the latest local news on your electronic device, including tablets, iPhones, and smartphones, go to DeWittDailyNews.com. DeWitt County's #1 source for local news is on the air, online, 24 hours a day.
Allergy season is here, and our Warner Hospital and Health Services walk-in clinic inside our family medicine is here to help. No appointment, no problem. Find out more by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
For the latest in Central Illinois agricultural news, visit IllinoisFarmRadio.com. Get updated information on markets, weather, ag news, local interviews with NAFB farm broadcaster Jared White, and much, much more. All at IllinoisFarmRadio.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. Brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guests in studio today, Crystal Morris and Josh Thielen with the Clinton Girl Scouts. Good morning, Crystal.
Hi.
Thanks for coming out. And Josh, good to see you again.
Oh, absolutely.
How is Girl Scouts? What have we been up to lately?
We've been having a lot of fun. Josh actually got to take over for February, you know, my fun delegating that I always do with him.
Yeah.
This time you let me have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't a fight.
What was February like, Josh? What'd the girls do?
Okay, so in February, we concentrated on our World Thinking Day patch. Mm-hmm. This is a patch that once we found out about it, World Thinking Day was February 22nd. Mm-hmm. And there's a special patch that Girl Scouts puts out just for that day alone. Mm-hmm. And I thought it would be interesting to get the girls involved and get them to start thinking about what happens around the world that can affect how long we have to live here, more or less. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And one of the benefits the girls are getting from this is pen pals. Mm-hmm. We've arranged for pen pals in South Florida as well as in Korea. Mm-hmm. So they get to see or experience different cultures, both in the U.S. and worldwide, to understand that not everything's the same. How we live here in Illinois is completely different than how they're living in Florida, and even more so different than how they're living in Korea. Yeah, so it's a good experience for the girls to be able to see something like that.
With World Thinking Day patches, is there a program that Girl Scouts kind of lays out for you to follow, maybe a rubric of what to do for them in that given event? Yeah,
so we're given a list of 4 different categories that they have to meet. They have to go through all 4 of them to try to earn the patch, and each one gives us a series of choices on how we want to approach it.
Okay.
Everything from telling the story of World Thinking Day to we did one about recycling, and then I'm trying to remember
the time capsule. There was a miniature version of a time capsule where the girls kind of got to write a letter to themselves, and then we actually held on to that. And then so when, you know, we go to give it to them next year, the year after, whenever, you know, we decide, they can open it up and see how much of a difference just even that couple of years has been.
For sure.
But the whole point behind it is how can we make our futures better and help save the planet.
Yeah. Now, with you talked about the pen pal program that you're taking on. Is that something you connected through Girl Scouts, or is how did you make those connections?
Okay, so Girl Scouts uses the WHOW system, which I can't remember what that abbreviation is, but the WHOW allows us to meet other Girl Scout troops all over the world. We're all connected through that system. And so I went on there and I just started looking for where do I think the girls would enjoy having a pen pal from. And I know my daughter absolutely loves K-pop, loves Korea, loves everything about it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try. Let's see what happens. And I emailed the council down there or over there, and they wound up responding back last week, I think it was. And so we went ahead and I said, you know what? We've got 14 girls that are participating this year, and I'd like to try to get them all a pen pal there in Korea? And
Wow.
she said, yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
So
Nice.
this morning we actually got the full list, and we've got them from, I think, 3 different cities in Korea, South
Wow.
Korea.
Cool. That'll be a lot of fun. What do you hope they take away from this?
I hope that they get to build an international friendship. I've had plenty of opportunities. I've got friends from Iraq and Afghanistan that I still talk to. Some of them have moved here to the U.S. for their safety and everything else. But I would love to see the girls build that international friendship.
Also, just a cultural aspect, the different, where we go to the movies or we, do this or we have school for 8 hours a day. Their schooling system's completely different. And it's really, I personally hope that our girls get to see the differences between, how we do things here in America and how they do things there in Korea, where we're all really still connected. We all have our Girl Scout troops. We have, but even a Girl Scout meeting. How is a Girl Scout meeting there different from a Girl Scout meeting here?
Right.
Stuff
Yep.
like that.
Yeah, for sure. How often are they going to write these kids?
Right now, we have email addresses. So the reality
Oh, sure.
is they'll be able to do it whenever they want.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that the girls will continue to meet back or continue to email and even send letters and pictures and mail back and forth to each other.
For sure.
So it's,
And eventually maybe they connect on social media and those sorts of things. So.
and maybe even in person one day would be fantastic
right.
to see.
Yep, exactly. Early on, what's the getting to know process look like? I mean, are they just kind of sending questions back and forth? Do you have activities for them to get to know each other?
So we have, and there's a lot of different ones out there, but they have like a questionnaire sheet. Our troop actually in Florida is sending us currently a kind of like the sheets that their troop has already done. It says, this, my name is, some of my hobbies are, the kind of music I listen to, different things like that. That it's just more of a conversation starter. And then, from that point on, I feel like when I was a kid and doing pen pals, you wrote these like long letters of, but there wasn't these, quick things to do anymore.
Right, yeah.
But so it was like a huge long letter or like a package. I had one that, it was a package. We'd send stickers back and forth, stuff like that. With the age of technology, the being able to email back and forth, I feel like there probably won't be as much, but it will still be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Our Florida troop, they actually went through Hurricane Ian. So, I'm hoping that the girls are able to, ask them about that and be like, how was that experience for you and something like that. So yeah, I guess it's kind of, we have those starter sheets and our girls will each get a starter sheet from that troop and they can kind of, build and expand from that.
Yeah. So Josh, did the girls get that patched for that day or how do you achieve that?
Okay, so on our last meeting in February, all the girls had completed all 4 steps, which allows them to earn that patch, and then we'll go out as a troop. We'll get all the patches, buy them all. We usually buy everything all at one time, and at the end of the year, we give all the girls the patches that they earned. And so on the last day, we did a video, and I'll share that with you when we get done here. But they did this video and told what they learned and what they expect the future to be like. And with the completion of that video and sharing their thoughts on it, earn them the patch.
Gotcha.
So we've shared that video on Facebook throughout Girl Scouts, and the girls really did a fantastic job this year of completing this patch.
Sure.
It's not an easy one to complete, but it's an extremely fun one.
Yeah.
And we had 4 new girls
I
at
was
the
going
troop.
to say, we actually had 4 new girls sign up. And
Really?
so that was their first meeting. And so they got to experience like...
Oh, wow. Cool.
So
the not that there's not fun sides to Girl Scouts, but one of the fun sides to
Yeah.
Girl Scouts. Yeah.
And so because they came in at the halfway point, we're allowing them to go back and do what we did in the first meeting.
Okay.
And then they'll bring the stuff at the next meeting, and that'll complete the patch for them as well.
Sure.
So they're
Nice.
still able to earn that patch, even if they weren't at the meeting.
That's awesome. Crystal, anything else you wanted to add to that?
Not really about the world thinking, but
Yeah.
we did. We had a lot of fun with that one.
That's great. Excellent. Well, again, that's Crystal Morris, Josh Thielen with the Clinton Girl Scouts, our guests in studio for today. Anything else from February that the girls did that we haven't talked about yet?
Girl Scout cookies.
Girl Scout, yep. Saw you guys at Save a Lot a couple of times. How's that going?
Cookie season is doing really well. We actually have a smaller troop than past years. But our girls this year, I think they just were like, nope, we're going to totally kick butt this year. Josh and his daughter have actually been out quite a bit. I had some family stuff going on that I wasn't able to get out much, but Josh, my delegation really worked this year. So he's been rocking. He's at him and some of our other parent volunteers. We have an amazing group of parents that will constantly volunteer and help us out. So they've been able to kind of run those booths at Save a Lot.
Yeah. I was going to say, do all the girls get involved and all that stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have a sign up. Our requirement is you have to spend at least 1 hour during cookie season. So it's 6 weeks. I don't ask everybody to come every single week or anything like that. You just have to dedicate 1 hour. But most of our girls have, they've been jumping in and trying to do as much as they can, and we've had a lot of parents actually sign their girls up, and we'll be there. We're excited.
Sure. Nice. Excellent. So is there a goal for the cookie sales? I think you had mentioned
right
that
now,
last time.
Our goal is 5,000 boxes,
Okay.
and we are currently just shy of 3,500.
Okay.
So with 3 weeks left, I think the girls are going to fly past that goal.
Yeah.
I would really like to see them pass where we were at last year. And last year, I think we sold 5,500 boxes.
Okay. Now, remind us how sales are working this year, because you're at Save a Lot, obviously, with boxes. Everybody remembers the traditional fill out the sheet and the match your how many you want with each kind. How did sales work this year?
So we have an inventory in our possession already. That's how it's been for the last few years that I've been a troop leader. So we have our inventory. We get what we call our initial order. They send us however many boxes we order with that initial order, and then each week we can go to the distribution center and get more and kind of restock what we have. Towards the end of the cookie season, we stop getting stuff from the distribution center, and we kind of go through our parents' inventory, because we don't want anybody kind of, I hate using the word stuck with, but we don't want parents to be stuck with all these extra cookies.
Yeah, sure.
If we can try to get them sold for everybody.
Okay.
So that's kind of what our game plan is every year. We just kind of get to the end of the cookie season, last couple of booths. We're like, what do you guys have? Let's go ahead and get your stuff sold. And
What's most popular this year?
Thin Mint by a long shot.
I was going to say it's usually always Thin Mints.
Everybody's got to get those. Yep.
Those and the peanut butter patties, the chocolate covered peanut butter ones.
Yeah. Caramel Delights are doing really good.
Yeah.
And the Adventureful is a very popular cookie this year.
It's funny you said that about the Thin Mints. I have seen so much on Instagram lately about like milkshake Thin Mint recipes, protein shake Thin Mint recipes, like like cookie, like you can like make variations of cookies with those.
I've had actually people send me cupcakes that have the Girl Scout cookies in them, and they're like, "Could you make these?"
Yeah,
So,
right.
One common one is the lemonade cookie.
Yeah,
makes a fantastic no-bake cheesecake crust.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes.
Okay.
It is the perfect cookie for that. We've got girls that take the toastier cookie, which
Yeah.
is like a French toast cookie. They'll break it up and put some milk on it and have it for breakfast.
Yeah.
So, like, there's a lot you can do with it. And
Or you could just go the old-fashioned method and just eat them.
Getting super fancy.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I just pull them out of my freezer.
Back to the caveman days, right?
I was going to say, for anybody that thinks they're running low because you need them for another year, you need to get a hold of us. They keep very well in the freezer, and they are delicious frozen.
I tell everybody, it's fine. Get as many as you want. You've got, we won't be back for a whole year.
Right, exactly.
You throw them in your freezer, and I usually get that joke back. They're like, it won't survive my freezer.
Yeah, right. Yeah, for sure. But it will. It will. Yeah, no doubt. So again, just Crystal, if you don't mind, highlight the methods of how folks can buy Girl Scout cookies.
So definitely, there are two troops in Clinton. We both are set up at Save a Lot. We troop on Saturdays, troop on Sundays, both at Save a Lot. I know that the other troop 3044. They actually just did a drive-through cookie booth last Saturday. I know that Jason France has cookies up at his office.
Okay.
At the State Farm office. There is, I know Kurt Nettles also
Kurt
has
has a stock at his office too.
and
sure.
yeah, so it's pretty easy to find. You can also get a hold of us on Facebook. If you know any of the troop parents, they can always get you taken care of.
There's ways.
There's ways.
There are ways. Yep, very good.
If you don't see our posts on Facebook, because I've probably posted about 100 times a week just where my daughter's selling. I know other parents like Michelle Dyer. She's constantly posting up her daughter's selling.
Yeah.
Loretta Woodbury's got a lot of posts with her daughter selling. Like we're out there and we're there to help.
All right.
And if it's a really nice day out, a lot of these girls, I love it because they set up booths in front of their houses. So
I think I saw that actually.
Yeah, there's one girl that lives out on Main Street. There's one. My girls are on Jackson Street, right near Lincoln Elementary School. So on nice days, we set up out there. So
just as school's getting out.
There you go. Perfect opportunity. Absolutely. Very good, guys. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's take a break here. Come back with some more. Again, Crystal Morris, Josh Thielen with the Clinton Girl Scouts, our guests in studio. More to come with them on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
Let's check the opening numbers now at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Wednesday. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network. Corn starting the day slightly higher, beans slightly lower, and wheat opening lower. March corn 408.5 up 1/4. May corn up 1/4, 423 3/4, and December new crop 460.5 up half a penny. March beans starting the day 1129 3/4 down 1.5. May beans down 1 3/4. 1139. November new crop 1128 1/4 down 1.5. March Chicago wheat 579 3/4 down 6 1/4. May wheat down 7 3/4 576.5. July wheat 579 down 7 1/4. March bean meal 331.10. That's up 330. And March bean oil 44.43 down 48 cents. Opening numbers on this Wednesday morning. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
Take advantage of leap year. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick here in Clinton. Yes, we have an extra day this month. So come see our inventory of Chevrolet Trailblazers, Blazers, and the all-new Chevy Trax. It's a sharp, redesigned 5-passenger and affordable front-wheel drive. We also have a larger 7-passenger Traverse and a good selection of Tahoes. Use your extra day wise. Shop us online to see all our inventory. BaumChevyBuick.com, right from the start.
For the latest in Central Illinois agricultural news, visit IllinoisFarmRadio.com. Get updated information on markets, weather, ag news, local interviews with NAFB farm broadcaster Jared White, and much, much more. All at IllinoisFarmRadio.com.
Connexus will provide local, reliable, affordable, and speed-of-light fiber internet to Clinton. Get on the install list now by clicking the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com. Fiber internet is coming to Clinton. Get on the install list now.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Crystal Morris, Josh Thielen with the Clinton Girl Scouts in studio with us here for this morning. And Crystal, I know you were telling me before we got started, your kids are doing some things for Down syndrome. Is March Down Syndrome Awareness Month? Is that what it is?
So March 21st is World Down Syndrome Day.
That's right, yes.
But our girls, so I have a son with Down syndrome. He was an at-birth diagnosis. We had no idea. So it was kind of a shock for our family. But it's been one of those like really huge blessings to our family. But so a few years ago, right after he was born, he was born right in COVID.
Oh, wow.
But our first meeting that we were able to do outside of that, my girls kept asking to meet him. And so I was like, you know what, let's do a meeting about Down syndrome. So I actually brought him in, and we were able to do a meeting, kind of learned about different things about Down syndrome. We actually played a couple different games, stuff like that. and we had a Down syndrome walk that we had done. Well, the very next year, we had I didn't plan on doing it again. The girls were like, well, are you going to bring Jameson in? I said, well, I guess I can.
Yeah.
So then they said, well, are you going to do a walk again? I said, I guess we can. Because I hadn't really done it. And they said, well, what if we help you? And I thought, that was really awesome that they wanted to. So then the third year came along. And it was the same thing. They were like, well, we really want to do a walk. We'll help you again. So it's kind of become a tradition where we, as Girl Scouts, we do this, Down syndrome walk.
Okay.
We usually only have about a handful of people, but anybody that comes and makes donations, it goes down to Central Illinois Down Syndrome Organization. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. So we will have a meeting. March 4th is our next meeting, and we're going to have a meeting all about Down syndrome. So what happens is I usually bring my son. They get to kind of hang out with him. I think they just more like having fun and hanging out with him. He will be 3 this year, so it's more just they get to enjoy his
presence.
Yeah,
sure.
We play a few games. We talk about how different things about how everybody with Down syndrome has their different ways of learning. My son is completely nonverbal, so he uses sign language, stuff like that. And it's just really fun. We have a lot of fun doing it.
Will you do the walk on World Down Syndrome Day?
So World Down Syndrome Day this year actually falls on a Thursday.
Okay.
So we are going to have it a few days later. Our plan is we'll start posting kind of information about it, but we're going to do March 23rd, which is Saturday at 11 a.m. out at Weldon Springs. Usually what we do is we just kind of walk around Weldon Springs for a little bit, come back, hang out a little bit. A lot of the kids will sit and play on the playground.
Okay.
It's nothing big. It's nothing fancy. It's just more of a fun get together, take a few laps, and any donations we do get, we donate it over. So
Very good. Nice. So put that on the radar. That comes up on March 23rd, you said.
March 23rd at 11 a.m., and then I'll have the specific location
Okay.
at a later time.
Very good. Anything else on that, Crystal, you want to put out there for us?
No, not at this moment. I'll have a little more information. I do plan on putting it on Facebook, so definitely keep an eye on the different Facebook pages for Clinton,
Okay.
and
Sure.
you can definitely see it there.
Easy enough. Josh, what did you want to mention with us this morning about Girl Scouts?
All right. So, I want to talk about our meeting.
Sure. Go for it.
Obviously, we're always open to new girls. We just had 4 new ones come in 2 weeks ago, and they're already selling cookies, and they are doing fantastic with it. So, our meetings are every other Monday. March 4th being our next meeting. We meet at the Presbyterian Church at 6 p.m. Our meetings go usually from 6 to 7:30.
Okay.
And we invite girls of all ages. Our troop primarily is 3rd grader and above.
Okay.
This year. Troop 3044 meets at the YMCA on Wednesdays.
I believe Wednesdays.
And they're every other Wednesday, the same week as ours. So I think their next meeting is March 6th.
Okay.
But I'm not 100% certain on that one. And I'm not sure about their times. But that troop is all ages as well, but they're primarily kindergarten through 3rd grade.
Okay, sure.
So we're all open to everything. I know I had another student, I'm not sure what grade she's in, she didn't tell me, that was interested in an older troop. So I'm hoping that I can finally convince her to come up to our meeting and at least check it out and see what she's interested in. If she wants to start off a high school troop, we'd be glad to have her.
Sure. How do folks learn more about Girl Scouts, Josh?
The easiest way is probably just contact me on Facebook or call me, text me, whatever, 217-520-9823.
Easy
and
enough.
We can help you out.
Very good. Again, Crystal Morris, Josh Thielen with the Clinton Girl Scouts, our guest in studio. Network news on the way.
WHOW.
The Big 1520 WHOW Clinton, 92.3 FM W222 BG Clinton, 106.5 FM W293 DJ Normal Bloomington.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Turns out the U.S. economy didn't grow quite as fast as thought in the final 3 months of last year, a 3.2% expansion year over year, and that was slightly less than the Commerce Department's earlier estimate. was an easy win for Donald Trump in the Michigan Republican primary.
The former president's triumph in Michigan marks Trump's fifth straight victory in this year's major nominating contest. Mr. Trump barely campaigned in the Great Lakes, but he still won. Despite another loss, the former South Carolina governor, Nikki Haley, has pledged to remain in the race through Super Tuesday on March 5th, when 15 states hold contests.
Correspondent Edwin Morris says President Biden won the Democrat primary despite some Democrats casting uncommitted votes, those voters objecting to Mr. Biden's support of Israel in the Gaza war. Hunter Biden due today for a closed-door interview with House Republicans conducting their impeachment inquiry. Lawmakers trying to find out whether President Biden benefited from his son's overseas business dealings and whether his policy decisions were influenced by Hunter's activities. One of the fast-moving wildfires in the Texas Panhandle has grown to 800 square miles, now the second largest wildfire in the state's history, and there have been many evacuations as a result of that and several other big wildfires in the Texas Panhandle. The Chicago area was blasted by powerful storms last night, some property damage from fierce winds, hail, and torrential rains. In one case, an apartment building in the northern suburbs of Chicago partially collapsed. A rocket exploded off the side of a ship that was in the Red Sea off the coast of Yemen. This latest attack suspected of being the work, once again, of Iranian-backed Houthi rebels based in Yemen. On Wall Street, stocks are in the red. The Dow is down 196 points, while the Nasdaq is off 105, and the S&P 16 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The new FedNow system is paving the way for the digital dollar. It grants the government unprecedented access to your financial transactions. This isn't just an invasion of privacy, it's a direct assault on your liberty and hard-earned money. It's another reason why I recommend physical gold IRAs from the Birch Gold Group. I'm Lance Wallnow. I'm a news analyst and a podcaster with nearly 25 million downloads to people just like you who cherish their financial independence. A precious metals IRA can help you avoid the scrutiny of Big Brother while also preserving your retirement savings through almost anything, including economic crashes, political instability, and even hyperinflation. To find out more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word FAITH to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and see how a gold IRA can help you. Text FAITH to 989898. And remember, there's no strings attached. Text FAITH to the number 989898 right now, and I pray you're blessed with continued prosperity.
South Korea's birth rate has fallen to an all-time low despite the government spending billions encouraging women to have children. The BBC's Jean McKenzie in Seoul.
There are two things that have really stuck out for me. The first is that women here still don't feel that they can have a career and they can have a family because you have this very intense working culture. So there are long working hours, lots of overtime, but also it's very competitive. And yet it's still the expectation on women is that women do most of the childcare. And the second thing is the cost of raising a family. It is the most expensive country in the world to raise a child.
The South Korean and U.S. militaries will